Hiya! Welcome! Thank you for the t-shirt, Abigail. Now, I've made some more purchases from the official Saint Etienne online store. It's run by a company, I can't tell what this is supposed to be, whether it's like a record company or just some sort of weird art collective. Strange, I got sent a little magazine type thing with a purchase I'm about to show you, and I couldn't make head or tail of it. Area 51 Conspiracy or something like that. I'll put the logo up there in the corner. Strange company, but they're the ones who handle Saint Etienne's online store. And I have to say, I've purchased from there 3 times now, 3 separate orders. I'm going to show you one of them right away, and then I've got a mail opening from them to do straight after. Been very happy. So I'll show you what I got about a week and a half ago. And it is this, Foxbase Beta by Saint Etienne. This album was originally out as a fan club release on CD in 2009, I think. And if it looks a little bit familiar, it's because it's a very similar cover to the debut Saint Etienne album, which I bought from Amazon shortly after my birthday, Foxbase Alpha. And what Foxbase Beta is basically the whole album but remixed by Richard X. For those who don't know Richard X, I'm quite familiar with a lot of his work. He's a phenomenal British producer. He's done work with New Order. Obviously he's done work with Saint Etienne, and he's produced stuff on their normal albums. He might be best known for a lot of people in the UK as the person behind, I think it was the Sugar Babes' Freak Like Me back in, what was that, 2002-ish, which was a big hit and was basically a Sugar Babes song mashed up with Tubeway Army's Our Friends Electric. So yeah, this is a limited edition, not an awful lot to see, it's black vinyl, so I just wanted to quickly show you that, but really enjoyed this. Do I like it more than the original Foxbase Alpha? Because it's got all the same tracks on, they've just been remixed, reproduced sort of thing. And I haven't really decided yet. Some of the tracks I prefer on here, some of the tracks I prefer on the original. But this cost me, I think this was about £20. Really wanted this. There wasn't many things left on Saint Etienne's online store that I actually still wanted. And once I've opened the mail that I'm going to show you in a second, then that's, I think, going to be pretty much it until Saint Etienne announce another exclusive online only thing. But there we are, Foxbase Beta, the Richard X remix album. It's very good. So here we are again with some more mail from the Saint Etienne store, care of the State 51 Conspiracy. Once again, it's come in one of these really cool psychedelic mailers. I said this in a previous video, but if only all mail could look as good as this. But there should be 2 albums in here, 2 records. Shouldn't need a slice, as it's got one of these pull-down tabs here. So let's just get it open, and I can show you what I've got. The total price, this being 2 records, just the sort of remaining 2 albums that were web exclusives, as it were, that I wanted for Saint Etienne. I think the total price, including postage, it's around £45, maybe just under £46, which were 2 brand new records that you can't buy in the shops, you can only buy online. And one of them actually said out of stock, but I emailed the company and they said, no, it is in stock. If you can add it to your cart, which I could, then it's in stock, so awesome. Let me just grab one. Oh, just before I grab one, got one of these funny protective sheets there. Seem quite good, them. It seems a shame to throw that out, to be honest. Let's grab this one first. I don't think I'm going to unseal these, by the way, because they're all black vinyl. There's no sort of interesting coloured vinyl like the Saint Etienne Love Record Store's Day album was that I showed a few days ago. But this is Music for Lost and Other Films by Saint Etienne, Asleep at the Wheels of Steel. Let me just put this down. This was probably the album that I was least excited about to get. out of all these exclusive limited edition Saint Etienne LPs. Just a 10-track album. I think from what I could see on the Discogs database entry, none of the tracks last much over 2.5 minutes. It's essentially like a pseudo soundtrack LP, all instrumental, I believe. I do like the vintage photos on the front and back though. This was originally released in 2002, apparently. Re-released on Saint Etienne's sort of little boutique Foreign Office label in 2018. Limited edition again. I think there's either 500 or just 1,000 copies pressed of this. And I have one, and it's great that I've got one for something that's been out probably about 1.5 years, getting on for 2 years now. One of the films, I think, was something that they were making, but it didn't get finished or something, and it was called Lost. Not to be confused with the US TV show that was pretty good overall, but did confuse me quite a lot by, I think, the middle of the first season. Yeah, looking forward to listening to this. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be one of my favourite Saint Etienne albums, but you never know. I've not heard any of the tracks on here. There's no singles or familiar tracks on it. It is quite a rarity, and I love rarities in my collection, so marvellous. But the next one I am rather more excited about. This was the one that it said out of stock, but I was able to add it to my cart. And then when I double checked with the people at State 51, Area 51 Conspiracy, they said, no, we've got that, you can buy it. And so I did. And this is Nice Price. And what this is like a compilation album. This is actually a 2-disc set. So I think even though this was about £24 or something on its own, you are getting 2 LPs in it. Not really an awful lot to see apart from the really bizarre psychedelic cover. It's got a deliberate kind of, this is part of the record sleeve design by the way, a deliberate budget price sticker type design on it there. The sort of thing that you'd see in like your old pound shops and what have you. And this is an interesting thing on the back. I've never seen this before actually. It's a fake returns label that's already been ticked off with things and signed by somebody. Apparently this is to be returned because it's a demo, a rough mix, no vocals, unfinished lyrics, bad design, 10cc influence, underproduced. So marvellous, and there's some other funny options there that haven't been ticked out. I can't remember exactly when this was out originally, but this has got all sorts of early demos on it and unreleased tracks, different versions of well-known tracks and album stuff. I think this has got a version of 7 Ways to Love, which probably doesn't mean a lot to an awful lot of people, but that was actually an early Saint Etienne single, but it was released under the moniker Cola Boy, and it was a top 10 hit in the UK. Saint Etienne, the guys, Pete and Bob, they didn't want to release it under the Saint Etienne name because they felt it was a bit kind of cheesy compared to their normal output, and I think there's a version of that on here. That's all I wanted to show you. 2 brand new albums here that I'm gonna look forward to listening to. The kind of not really movie soundtrack that purports to be, and a very rare and very collectible album of rarities, different mixes, different takes, etc. And of course, the one that I got the other day, the fantastic Fox Bass Beta. So that is it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at some more Saint Etienne albums that I've bought from their web store. As I say, as things stand now, there isn't really anything else on their web store that I'm after. I do need some more normal Saint Etienne studio albums, but I will pick them up from one of your more regular outlets somewhere in due course. But I just fancied getting some of these rarities because you never know, once they're gone, they are gone. And then if you don't pay a fortune on Discogs Marketplace or somewhere, then you've missed out forever basically, or until they press some more, which isn't guaranteed. Thank you to all of my subscribers and all of my patrons, of course. I'm going to go now and need to decide which one of these I'm going to listen to first. Doesn't matter really, they're both going to be essential additions into my Saint Etienne collection. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next music collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!